Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It is Friday, and we got another double header. Two games on around the same time. Raptors 9:05 at Cleveland Charge at 7 p.m. and Raptors at Toronto Scotiabank Arena versus Orlando Magic tonight 7:30. Yeah, I got all the latest information about the lineups, and I got the referees all ready and set for you guys to go over that kind of stuff. But yeah, first and foremost, we found out where's that? I don't want that to go off right now. First and foremost, we found out the personal reasons why RJ Barrett is out, and it's absolutely devastating news and just really sad. I first off the top want to sincerely apologize for any tongue-in-cheek jokes or anything I made this week about RJ being out for personal reasons. Without knowing the real reason, I'm a jackass for spouting off any kind of little witty comments or dumb things I said about him having a personal reason not to want to play Detroit. In Detroit, I retract all my statements, and I feel really, really bad about just goofing on the idea of him out for personal reasons. In this situation that the Raptors are in right now, there's a lot of dubiousness about missing games right now, and I should have held this with more sensitivity. In some ways, it's a lesson for me to, maybe not make everything a joke sometimes, because this is obviously not a joke. And my heart is breaking for RJ Barrett, Rowan Sr., and his wife, and the mother, and the family, the whole family of the Barretts, with the news of the passing of Nathan Barrett, 19 years old, the younger brother of RJ Barrett this week. Oh, man, this is the worst. This is the worst. Yes, RJ will not be playing tonight, and understandably so, against the Orlando Magic tonight. Personal reasons out. We found out from Michael Grange on his Twitter account that Nathan had been sick for a few weeks now. He'd fallen ill several weeks ago, and he'd been home trying to get better, and he just passed away on Tuesday. So this is awful. This is absolutely awful. In some ways, RJ's had an angry edge to him. He's had a lot of energy to him on the court that I can read that has been very aggressive and very emotional. And I'm wondering if this is why in some ways. The other thing is that, he had missed a couple of games for personal reasons a few weeks ago already. And I'm wondering if it had something to do with the initial illness of his brother and him wanting to be close to him and around him initially. And well, he came back to the team, and now, his brother's passed. This is absolutely horrible. A 19-year-old young man has passed away, and it's one of our Raptors' younger brother, only sibling. They don't have any other siblings. RJ had one brother, and man, this is just devastating. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, this is going to be interesting. In some ways, the selfish Raptor fan in me is like wondering about how does this affect RJ Barrett and what's going on with him? I want to just be like sympathetic and supportive, and in any kind of way that a Raptor fan and Knicks fans are coming out of the woodwork too to show support for RJ in this situation. Ben Stiller very much putting out supportive tweets on Twitter last night. This is something that everybody, when they see this news, are just like, oh, that's awful. And you just don't want to hear stuff like this. It doesn't matter if you're a Raptor fan, a Celtics fan, a Sixers fan, or a Knicks fan. This kind of news is devastating to hear. Just to hear. He was a prospect. He played at Montverde. Scotty probably knows this kid too. He probably knew Nathan just because the Montverde is a family. The kids that go through that academy, they all get bonded and they kind of hold that label on themselves, Montverde. RJ, Scotty, Precious. These guys were all Montverde guys. And so was Nathan. Nathan was too. Yeah, this is just awful. This is the worst news. Oh, man. Man, I if I could take just a smidge of the pain that RJ feels right now, I would take it for him. That's what I would do right now. I want to take some of that pain for RJ right now. Myself. I don't want him to feel so bad. We got to grieve. We got to deal with it. All right. Get back to work, Lex. All right, the injuries for tonight are extensive. Lots of work for me right here. DJ Carton is still out with his ankle twisted. He will not be playing tonight. RJ is out. Gary is questionable. He could play tonight. It's his groin still, so we could see Gary return tonight. That would be nice, considering Orlando's a better team than Detroit. And just having Quick from the starters out there isn't enough. If we get Gary back tonight, that would be a big boost in the arm to help us. Chris Boucher still out with his MCL tear. I'm pretty sure he's going to be gone for the rest of the season. In fact, he may not ever play another game as a Raptor. I hate saying depressing things this morning, but that may be actually true. We'll have to see how everything shakes out with free agency this summer. But that could actually end up being true. Of course, Scotty and Jakob are out because they have surgeries recently on their hands. So that's the injury list for the Raptors. And, I could speculate about who's going to start tonight. I think it'd probably be similar to like what we've been seeing. It's kind of been Bruce Brown at point guard. Well, Manuel's back, so it'll be a Manuel at point guard. It'll be like Grady, Bruce Brown, Oshai, and Kelly. Something like that. If Gary comes back, maybe that bumps Grady to the bench, and it'll be Emmanuel, Bruce, Gary Trent Jr., Oshai, and Kelly. So that's I think that's what our lineup's going to be like. Of course, we've lost something like 5 or 6 in a row right now, but that's not a big deal. We want that. We've lost 5 in a row. So in some ways, we want to lose tonight. I mean, I hate saying that. You know how I am on this channel. I'm always trying to figure out the way we can win. But the mode we're in right now is really we should probably try and lose. Orlando has no injuries whatsoever. They are absolutely perfectly healthy. This is like the opposites. It's funny because the teams that are competing, they're all healthy. They want to be as healthy as possible. And teams like us are kind of we're kind of yeah, that's what's happening. And one team we need to keep paying attention to right now is Memphis. We're going to have to watch Memphis in the standings and see where they go up and down. If we lose today, that helps us because that'll put us, tied with Memphis instead of being a half game above them. So in some ways, it is very important that we lose, guys. I'm really, really big on that right now. If people are upset about tanking, at this point, we are having to have to do this. This is just the only choice at this point. So the Magic, we haven't seen them in a while. We saw them once early in the season. They beat us already. So they're up 1-0 in the season series. Their lineup is as such right now: Jalen Suggs, Gary Harris, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. is their starters. Off the bench, they got Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, Joe Ingles, Jonathan Isaac, Mo Wagner, Anthony Black, Caleb Houston, Goga Bizats, Trevelyan Queen, who we just saw this week in 2 games for the Osceola Magic against us, Chuma Akeki, and yeah, that's pretty much their lineup. They have been doing very well recently. Their recent schedule, they have won 6 out of their last 8. So yeah, that's their trend right now. They've won 6 out of the last 8. They beat Brooklyn on Wednesday. They did lose to Indiana and New York the games before on Sunday and Friday. So 6 out of their last 8 they've won. They were on a 5-game win streak before those 2 games they dropped. Yeah, this is a team that's been playing pretty good. Although a lot of the games that they beaten teams recently have been bad teams. They've been beating Charlotte, Detroit, Washington, Brooklyn, and Utah was in that win streak. So it's not big teams that Orlando went on win streak against. So, but I don't know. Either way, we kind of want them to just beat us. Honestly, we just do. All right, let's do the referees. First, we'll do the refs for the 9:05 game at Cleveland Charge. The crew chief is J.D. Rawls, number 80. Referee is Kaja Mula, number 79. And Chelsea Painter is the umpire, number 66. We've had Mula and Painter recently. Actually, all 3 of these refs we've had recently. So no strangers to the Raptors. Tonight, we're going to get a referee debut for the Raptors game versus the Magic. We're going to have a referee make their first ever refereeing appearance for the Raptors in a Raptor game. So this is kind of exciting in some ways. It's a new ref, somebody that I've never seen ref for us before. And she's never ref for us. She has not, at least ever once. All right, the crew chief, though, is Courtney Kirkland tonight. 24th season out of Flint, Michigan. His favorite TV show is Billions. He likes the movie The Matrix. You should see that picture of Precious that's out right now. If he likes The Matrix, boy, Precious has got that Matrix fit like Morpheus right now going on his Instagram with that long trench coat. But yeah, he said he took the red pill. Is what uh, Precious said. I was like thinking, why did you say you took the red pill? You're on the blue pill right now. You're in New York, bro. The red pill was in Toronto. Now you're on the blue pill. But either way, Courtney Kirkland's favorite book is Total Money Makeover, and his favorite app is the NBA app. Yeah, he doesn't have any food or music or a talent or anything on here. Courtney Kirkland helps and train and develop referees through the Manage the Grays officiating camp. He plays golf, exercises, and writes. So he is actually a referee trainer. This may make sense for why the third ref is coming to this game. Is because Courtney, in some ways, the refs tonight for the Raptors against the Magic is like assistant manager training a trainee. You may go to a Burger King and you may have to deal with somebody who's learning how to punch in the numbers on the computer for how to take your order. There's maybe a little bit of that going on tonight as far as Courtney Kirkland helping the third ref learn how to ref. So we'll see. Second ref is Nick Booker. He is our friend. We love. Oh wait, we should do the Courtney Kirkland splits real quick. Courtney, we are this season 1-2. We did win the last game that he refed us, but we're 1-2 for the season with Courtney. That's not the best, but it's not horrible. We win 43% of our games with Courtney Kirkland, and the Magic win 46% of their games. So the split is for the Magic, 43-46 for the Magic with crew chief Courtney Kirkland. He's not a good ref for us historically. He's below Scott Foster and Tom Washington, a lot of the Ed Malloy, Tony Brothers. He's below all of them, Courtney Kirkland. So he's not a good ref for us. He never has been, and he probably won't be tonight either, which is good. It's a good time for him not to be a good ref for us. The second ref is absolutely a fantastic ref. He's a top 5 ref for the Raptors. It's Nick Booker, number 14th season, number 3. Out of Orlando, Florida. He is from Orlando, though, and we're playing Orlando tonight, but I don't really worry about that. In some ways, Booker's going to help us either way. Favorite TV show, Game of Thrones. He also likes Walking Dead. His favorite movie is Gladiator. He listens to David Gray. His favorite book is October Sky. His favorite meal is steak. Okay, so we got some food now on the meal. Is a steak from Nick Booker. His favorite app is Bands in Town. He's most likely to visit Rome, and his bucket list is to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't understand, man. Just go to the Super Bowl, bro. Nick Booker has done volunteer work with March of Dimes, among other community outreach projects. Yeah, Nick Booker is a top 5 ref for the Raptors, like a good ref. This guy is awesome. We win 64% of our games. Meanwhile, the Magic only win 21%. This is a wide split, 64-21 for the Raptors with Nick Booker, and we have won both the games he's reffed this year already. So this is it. He's 2-0 with us, and we win like crazy when he's around. So Nick Booker, you are my guy, but I don't know if we want you to be our guy tonight. We might want Courtney Kirkland to screw us over, and maybe the new ref to make some mistakes. But it's at least good to know that the nice guy Nick Booker's out there. In some ways, they want to even out his stats with winning between the Magic and the Raptors. Since we're so high and they're so low, they want to bring those percentages more to the middle. So, we're expecting a loss tonight. The third ref is making her rookie debut as a referee for a Raptor game. Her name is Cherie Mitchell, number 98. She's considered her first full season as a ref. She has reffed for 2 years before that with very limited experience reffing NBA games, but she's a full ref this year. Her favorite TV show is Law & Order SVU. Her favorite movie is Pretty Woman Walking Down the Street. That's the movie where Julia Roberts plays a hooker. Yeah, you remember that movie. Favorite musician is Beyonce. What? Crazy in Love? Okay. Favorite book, Conversations with God. Her favorite meal is a Caesar salad. Her favorite app is ESPN and Spotify. She must like to visit Africa. Her bucket list is to get her PhD. I'm going to have to see what she studied. In her bio, she studied what is it doesn't say. Her hidden talent is breakdancing. Okay, wait a second. So you breakdance too? Like there's another ref that breakdances. And if you guys could get together and do your talents together, the talent show might be really good. Might be really good. We'll have like a male-female breakdance duo of the refs. You guys could win the talent contest, honestly. Like so far, right now, Kogut is the best front runner with his magic. But I'm telling you, if you can break dance and you get with the other referee that break dances too, I forget who it is. It's one of the refs. I've talked about him doing a head spin. Man, that would be something, Cherie. Y'all could win, y'all. I'm telling you. Since Cherie's new, let's get to know her a little bit from her. Sheree, I should pronounce this right. It's Sheree Mitchell. Since she's new, let's get to know her a little bit. She actually played basketball herself at UC Santa Barbara, where she was named All Big West tournament team and earned All Big West honorable mention accolades in 2007-2008 season. She lettered in 6 variety sports at Valley High School in Sacramento, California. So she's an athlete. Sheree is the mother of twin 8-year-olds, and she enjoys reading, hiking, and collecting shoes. As I said, Sheree has never reffed us, so there's no record with her. She's exactly 0-0, but she has reffed the Magic a bit, just so y'all know. And they have not won with her at all. They are 0-2 so far with her young career, Sheree Mitchell. 0-2. So I guess the split is 0-0. But a favor for the Raptors because they haven't played with her, and she's reffed them twice, and they've lost both times. So yeah, it's a little bit of on-the-job training tonight with our ref crew. Sheree Mitchell with Courtney Kirkland and Nick Booker. Nick Booker, a great ref for the Raptors. Oh my gosh! In some ways, I don't want to help us. Don't help us tonight, Nick Booker. Don't help us. Let us lose. If we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose. The talent of the Magic may just be overwhelming. They have some high draft picks that play for them, very much like Detroit. They may have been a bad team in recent years, but they're not now. They started getting better last year. We saw them really rise up last year, and now they're a lot better this year. So, yeah, they're a legit playoff team, and they're dangerous. They are dangerous. In some ways, they're a team that I would like to see beat the Celtics and put their ass out. They're a team that I'd like to see put Nick Nurse's ass out. Yeah. Yeah, Magic, I can get behind rooting for you. I have a history of rooting for the Orlando Magic before the Raptors existed. I was a Magic man when they had Shaq and Petty running around for them back in the day. That's right. I was a heavy-duty Magic fan watching all their games in Florida because that was my market and that was my team. In fact, I went to preseason Magic games back in the day. I can remember going to see Nick Anderson and Scott Skiles face off against Reggie Miller and the Pacers at the Leon County Civic Center in a preseason game when they did a NBA preseason game in Tallahassee once to market the expansion Magic. So the Raptor Freak has a history with the team we're playing today. They do have a place in my heart. They do. I used to love those old pinstripe Orlando Magic jerseys with Dennis Scott and Nick Anderson, Jerry Ice Reynolds, Donald Royal and Mark Akers and Jeff Turner and Dave Corzine. I'm talking some original Orlando Magic years, the years before the Raptors existed. My allegiance was with them. That's a little interesting note about the game tonight also, is I'm an old Magic fan from before, just because of where I grew up and what the team was on TV. Although those were fun years to watch the Magic because they were gangbusters right away. I mean, they got Shaq right away almost, and Penny. And boy, were those teams talented and fun and very raw with power. Well, in some ways, the team that it's the Magic right now mirrors that old young Magic team that did get to the finals against the Houston Rockets in '95. There's a lot of young, overwhelmingly good talent burgeoning and coming up on this team right now with the Magic, with people like Banchero and Franz Wagner and people. Yeah, those guys. Yeah. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in the chat this morning. That's my latest lineup news, the refs, and all that such and such. Yeah, let's see what's going on. We got Trevor J first in, so we'll do the first part of the show is the classic cosmic card of the day. We'll have to see what I get, and we'll see if anybody can identify the card. They'll get 100 points towards the Raptor Freak trivia score. And yeah, it's fun. It's been fun. Smooth Brown Man is undefeated at this game so far. He's got 3 in a row. Let's see if he can get 4 in a row today. All right, I don't know why I'm shaking it up. They're not going to move around. All right, let's see. Picking blindly the card. Let's see what it is. Oh, okay. This is a little bit of a trick one But we'll see how y'all do. This is actually pretty easy. I thought at first this is a Raptor. This is a former Raptor. I will say that. We'll show them on this side. All right. When you know, please write it in at the bottom and guess, and we'll see who gets it. All right, here we go. Let's see who can get this one. Let's see. What jersey is that? Do you know who that is? Who's going to get this one? I wonder if any of y'all will guess. Do we have enough people here to play? Who knows who that is? That's what jersey is that? Those colors, they may tell you. Now, that's who I thought it was at first, Seymour Oakley. That's a very good guess because he is on the Knicks and this guy was on the Raptors, but that is not Charles Oakley. That's who I thought it was at first when I pulled the car out and I saw the jersey. I was like, that's Charles Oakley. And I was like, no, wait, that's not Charles Oakley. Okay, you got to fill it out, Seymour. That doesn't tell me in anything. You told me Williams. What the hell does that mean in the NBA? Come on now, Seymour. Williams? What is that? You can't just say Williams. Williams. What is that, Seymour? Come on. Come on. Don't be lazy. I need full name answers. Seriously, Williams. How the hell am I going to deal with that? Williams. You better give me the first name. Because full name answers only count. You can't just give me that. Come on. You want to look at him one more time? Tell me what his name is. Number 44, Williams. Cop out. City Slicker. Where is Smooth Brown Man? Greg Oden is not right, Chris. Greg Oden is not right. Greg Oden did not ever play for the New York Knicks. Oh, my gosh, Seymour. You know who it is. You just don't remember the first name. That's hilarious. He's like 44 Williams. The last name is correct, y'all. Just so you know, he has the right last name correct. Which one is it, though? Y'all can't do this to me. He just writes in Williams. That means like 200 guys. Come on, man. Jerome? That's a good guess. That's not right, though. Billy D. No, it's not Billy D. Williams. Alvin Williams? That's not Alvin Williams, guys. Come on now. Which former Raptor named Williams is that? You know, we had all the Williams guys we traded for when we traded Vince. Those guys, you guys aren't even guessing them. There's all kinds of Williams, y'all. Not Billy D. I'm a little bit upset. Somebody needs to get this. Where's Smooth Brown Man? Seriously. There we go. All right, write it all out, Stargate, just to be official. Because honestly, I'm just like, oh, man. All right. I wish y'all would just write the full name in the first place because I run a trivia game online and I don't take half answers. Y'all have to write the first and last name together. No half-assing it. You just write Williams. I'm like, no. If you just write his first name, that's not good enough either. You got to write it all together. In some ways, I don't even want to give either one of y'all points. But I should. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give 50 points to Stargate and I'll give 50 points to Seymour. But next time, when you guys play this game, I want the full name. No laziness. Y'all are going half-assed. That's losing culture. You want to win? You go winning culture. You write out their full name, their birth date, their favorite color. I want to know what their favorite TV show is. That's how you win. That is Herb Williams. That's right. When I pulled it out, it did look like Oakley. I looked at it and I was like, wait, 32? That's not Oakley's number. And now look closer, and it's like, that's not Oakley. That's Herb Williams. That is the classic card of the day. That's right. No losing culture here. No Williams. What is that answer, Seymour? How can you answer that? How am I supposed to discern this? That's funny. That's funny. Oh, my gosh. All right. All right. Let me keep going. Trevor's saying, good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Let's do it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what we're doing, Trevor. We're going to try and lose today is what we're trying to do, right? No. Let me get it. Let me suss this out correctly. This is what we do. We go out there and we play the beautiful system that Darko Rajakovic has set up here in Toronto this year. And we let the passing and the connections and the synergy continue to grow. We get to see more of Grady Dick, get more experience on the court, learning the NBA game, the pace, the tempo, the different teams, get a look at Orlando and run around with those youngsters a bit. It's just more experience gaining. And in some ways, we want to do things correctly. The winning way, the winning culture way. No half names, full names. We're going to get out there and do it fully and get out there and do it the best we can and compete. And if we can compete with Orlando and beat them by the end of the game, so be it. We'll take that victory honorably. But if it doesn't happen, it's in a good way, a good thing for us too, because we want to get below the Grizzlies in the standings so that we can keep our pick with the San Antonio Spurs. So this is very, very important in some ways to figure out. It's very clear. It's probably more likely that we need to lose is better that for us than winning right now. So the odds are constantly shifting around. And it looks like right now, as it is, we only have a 35% chance of retaining our pick. So we need to lose more. We have a 35% chance of keeping our pick. And in some ways, we need to have a better chance than that. That's right. Dana's here. Good morning, everyone. I would say let's win tonight, but let's go, Raptors. Yeah, in some ways, it's like, look, it's weird because we are very anti-tanking here. I've seen some dumbasses on social media saying, well, see, I told y'all we should have tanked from the beginning of the season. You idiots. That's losing culture. Saying that, okay, we showed up to training camp with Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl and all these guys healthy, and we should have lost from the beginning of the season. Oh, we should have been in a losing mentality the whole season this time. Now we're doing it now. What a fail. What a fail. What's wrong with you? Don't you know when you drive a car, there's different gears that you shift into depending on how you need to drive? Like if you're pulling something, you better put it in that low torque and pull that trailer with the right gear. If you need to get a high gear, you put a high gear. This is the thing. We shifted gears this year. And casuals who think, oh, we should have just tanked the whole season right from the start. Why didn't we do that? We're so dumb. Why didn't we do that? You guys are idiots. You can't get in your Wayback Machine, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. You can't go back there and do that. Listen, we had a good intent to be a good team this year and a playoff team from the start. And honestly, you look at our roster at the beginning of the year, there's a reason to think that. Seriously. So, oh my gosh. It's the thing is these lazy ass fans that just want to be one mode the whole season and that's just it. You're idiots. It changes, it shifts depending on the results and how things happen during the season. Some of it really does have to do with personnel and who you have available, who's on your roster, how good you are. And at different stages, as I said yesterday, we've had 6 seasons this year, and the seasons had different objectives. And this season that we're at now without Scotty and Jakob is tank now. But it wasn't until Scotty broke his hand. If Scotty's playing, we got a good chance to get in the play-in right now. We got a good chance to win some of these games recently because Scotty's playing. And that's an additional boost to our chances of winning. Without Scotty, our boost goes the other way. We don't have a good chance. So we got to lean into whatever the wind is blowing, whichever direction. So casuals are like, why didn't we start tanking before this? You're idiots. You really are. Maybe you either need to watch me every day or just pay attention a little closer. How about that? To what the whole thing we're trying to accomplish is at this point. Monique is here. The superfan Monique Lawrence here. So happy to see you, Mo. I hope you're having a great Friday so far. And let me know if you're going to the game tonight. I have a good feeling that you probably are heading down there. This is the thing. She doesn't care if we're in tank mode. She doesn't care if the season's gone to a bad place. She goes and supports her team and shows up no matter what. Now, betcha Monique is going down there tonight. That's right. Good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Continue to show us the good fight, win or lose. Go Raptors. Love and prayers to the Barrett family. Yes, 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 and yes. Support in all kinds of ways. Just feeling energies, prayers, thoughts, feelings, and just sympathies in every kind of way. This is a blow for Raptors Nation and Team Canada, for Knicks Nation, for the NBA in general, for basketball world in general. This is such a sad tragedy. This young man was only 19, a very healthy young man. And it's sad that illness has struck him down and that he is no longer with us at this point. It makes you realize the fragility of life and to take the sanctity of life a little more seriously and really count your blessings. And every day we got to get up and just be thankful to be alive. Because we see stuff like this where RJ's younger brother, Nathan, who's 19, has passed away. This is sad. This is sad. So young and so tragic to find out this news, because this young man had his whole life ahead of him. And man, being a sibling, a pair with a brother, me and my brother, that's it. I can relate to RJ because I'm the older brother and I have a younger brother. And I'll tell you what, if I had lost my younger brother in my early 20s, my life would be completely different right now. And it's sad. In some ways, I wonder about the gumption, the dedication that RJ might put in his career because of this tragedy. You know, Siakam and Anunoby have been strongly influenced by the passing of loved ones close to them around their NBA careers. And, you know, I got to wonder, like, with the fire that burns already inside of RJ Barrett, that if this is going to have some sort of effect on how competitive he is or what his drive becomes. I can only hope. I don't want it to go the other way, obviously, but either way, it doesn't matter. Either way, we just got to support RJ Barrett as a man, as a human being, as a brother, as a son. Most of all right now, it has nothing to do with basketball. It has to do with family and just tragedy. It sucks. Mo, we love you. Yeah, G saying, thinking of the Barrett family, what sad news. It's just so abrupt and tragic. I mean, seriously, you know, we've heard different people miss games for personal reasons in the past. And, you know, Nick missed some stuff for personal reasons. We saw Kyle Lowry miss a lot of time for personal reasons in his first year on the Miami Heat. And, you know, I was like wondering what's going on. You sometimes wonder if it is something that's happening in their family, like with Andrew Wiggins and his dad. He's been away from the team a lot because Mitchell Wiggins, his health has not been the best. And, you know, you always hear personal reasons and you're like, man, I hope nobody's in trouble in somebody's life. You know, we worry about that. Man, this is so awful. Cowboys saying blessings to the Barrett family. Yes, Canadian Cowboy. Always good to see you, Bradley. Dana saying, I still can't believe this awful news. My deepest condolences to the Barrett family. So sad. You know, I hope the Raptors guys come up to him, like Emmanuel and Scotty and those guys, and say, look, we're your brothers too, and we can be your brothers for life also. Because that, honestly, man, man. And you got to understand, Nathan probably looked up a lot to his brother. And, you know, just, you know, if he could have replicated his path, he probably would have. Yeah. David's saying, Rogers, you motherfuckers, goddamn it. Wait till I get you motherfuckers on the goddamn phone. Fucking lunatics. Just wait. Wow. Why are you mad at Rogers? Oh my gosh. David's really mad at Rogers. You know what? Just for showing anger towards Rogers all of a sudden, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of like give you a dunk. Why not, David? We're going to give you a dunk. 44. You got Jakob's old number now. 44. Oh, wait, he was 42. Who's 44? I'm trying to remember. Who's 44? Yeah, David, well, you're very angry. That's funny. Let's see. Paul's here. Good to see Paul B. holding it down in Wisconsin. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Friday. Let's attempt to create magic tonight and get the dub. Yeah, I don't know if that's the goal. I really don't know. In some ways, Magic are rolling. And I would like to, you know, if we can beat one of, you know what, it would be nice to beat them in one of these games this weekend. Either we beat them here in Toronto or we go down to Orlando and beat them in Orlando on Sunday. I don't know. Either way, I'm okay with whatever the outcome is. If the Raptors somehow beat the Magic 2 in a row, hey. If the Raptors split, hey. If they lose both of them, hey. We're in a no-lose scenario right now because if we win, well, we win. If we lose, well, that's going to help us a lot. Seriously. So, yeah, James is saying if we land the 6th pick, who you got? All right, James. I mean, I kind of looked at mock drafts a little bit. You know, I would say this. I have not done extensive draft studying. I really don't study college. I don't know the college players. The way I've always dealt with it on this channel is people bring me names and I'll scout them on this channel right live and I'll look at them. Now, I will say this. I think that whatever we do, if we keep that pick, if we are protecting that pick and we keep it away from San Antonio because we finished bad enough, we're going to pick the most talented player that is available at that pick. This is the philosophy they shown when they picked Scotty in that year, is that Scotty was overwhelmingly the most talented guy in his draft. I don't understand why they didn't pick him first. I'm sure a lot of people looking back are like, why didn't we pick Scotty Barnes first? This is ridiculous. We're so stupid. You know, Detroit taking Cade. You know, in some ways, I get it. Cade Cunningham was hyped and all this stuff. You went and take him. And then what, Evan Mobley went. There were 3 guys that got picked before Scott. That draft would be done differently today. You know it would be. You know Scotty would probably go first to the Pistons if they had a chance to redraft it and knowing what they know now. So I would say this, James. Think about that scenario and how that worked out. And let's see Masai and Bobby duplicate it. As far as like see who is available, take the most talented, best available player where they get the draft in the top part. And hopefully they will become the top player in the draft eventually because they're astute scouting and them knowing who it is. Now, I don't know the names. I know Alex Sarr is up there. I know there's a guy named Reed Shepard who plays for Kentucky, who's right now projected to be the number one pick. But I don't know all the names around there. Masai and Bobby do. And I'm sure they have somebody they have designs on. And I'm just going to trust in them. But I know that that's their philosophy. They're going to pick the best talented one. They're not going to pick for need for position. They're not going to pick because ESPN told them to pick Jalen Suggs. They're going to pick the best talented prospect, the best player that in their eyes, and they won't waver in that. They won't listen to anybody else. They can get mocked and laughed at. Pascal Siakam? Who is that? Yeah, who's laughing now, bitch? Yeah, y'all laughed at when we drafted Pascal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's my answer there. I don't know who it is. I haven't scouted. We like Alex Sarr. That's the name that people have been talked a lot about. Let's see. Fiercely saying many times I've heard no parent should bury their child. Well, it's true. Against the natural path of life, but we cannot control it. My deepest condolences to RJ and his family. Yeah, this is just, I'm sure this is so like out of left field for them. You know, you got to think about it. If he was going to Mount Verde, he's a basketball prospect and he's a healthy kid. So you got to wonder what it is. Like, I hate to think that it is something from this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what he passed away from. And in some ways, that's none of our business. But in some ways, I'm glad that there was some details that came out from the Michael Grange tweet about the nature of his passing. You know, when somebody young passes like that, there can be a lot of speculation for the cause of death. And sometimes it's not nice to think about it in that kind of way. You know, immediately, from my work in grad school studying mortality and early causes of death in people's lives, the highest percentage in his age bracket would be something like a accidental overdose or suicide that would be the cause of death. But that is not the case in this at all. This has nothing to do with any of that. This kid was on the up and up, and he didn't abuse drugs or anything like that. He got an illness, and he passed away from something that his body was fighting. So I'm glad that we know that detail at least, because there's a lot of out-of-pocket speculation that could happen otherwise. Because the age is so young. Most of the people that I knew that died around that time, that I knew from high school, is drunk driving or drug overdose or suicide. And I'm just glad that it's none of those threes with this in this tragedy. In some ways, that is something that makes it harder in some ways, if it is something like that. So, man, I'm just counting blessings in any kind of area that I can in this very sad, awful, very bad situation. Very, very sad. Yeah. Let's see. G saying, unfortunately, RJ's 19-year-old brother passed away. No cause of death was given. He was surrounded by family and loved ones. Yeah, they said it was an illness. So at least we know that. We know that it wasn't because he was very depressed or sad and made a very, very final decision. We know that it wasn't because he was hooked on drugs and drinking and got all messed up. Even if it was that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter. It's a tragedy all around. But in some ways, knowing that he had fallen ill several weeks ago and had been bedridden and fighting something, and now that's really tragic. That's really, really tragic. Yeah. David saying, I paid these motherfuckers $839.23 since November 14th. And they cut my phone off telling me I owe them $730 over my. Oh, wow. David's really mad at Rogers. Really, really mad. And it's because of his phone. Yikes, David. Yeah, switch companies. And yeah, fuck Ed Rogers III. Yeah, David, I'm with you. I'm not with Rogers in any kind of way right now. Thank God. I've been Rogers free for quite a while. And I'm going to try and get Bell free also soon. I am on Bell right now with my phone. But, their charges, it's crazy how much phone bills are for what they do and the services. They are absolutely robbing us. Some people have investigated telecom communications prices with phones and cell plans, and it's ridiculous how marked up this is for what they actually give us and how much it costs them. They are greedy, and they are robbing us. If you see your phone bill, it's like, I don't understand why my phone bill is over $100. I don't play games. I don't use data. I don't call long distance. I don't understand why it's over that. What am I paying for, Bell? Seriously, these companies are jackasses. And the less you can use them, the better. Go with the small businesses as much as you can, even if you have to pay more. It's better to support small businesses. And that's why I'm with Tech Savvy. That's right. Yeah, David is hot today. He's real mad. Randolph's here. Good to see Randolph Phillips. Good morning, beloved Raptor freaks. Most informative gang. My condolences to the Barrett and Raptors family. Lex, much respect to you for acknowledging your mistakes. We'll all feel for RJ. Yeah, I mean, I say a lot of crazy out of pocket shit on this channel. I have no filter. And I want to be fun and be funny. And in some ways, what I said wasn't really insulting. It was just I basically said RJ had a personal reason not to come to Detroit to play because he probably played some of those guys when he's younger. And in some ways, he didn't want to show up and lose to the Pistons or something like that. I don't know. It was dumb. It wasn't even that funny. But knowing the real reason why, I shouldn't joke about that at all. And man, I hate hearing the real news. In some ways, I wish it was some goofy ass, like I'm just DMPing because the Raptors are tanking. But the real reason why RJ's missing games is a real reason. I hate that. In some ways, I wish it was just some messed up, like, excuse for him to not be showing up. No, it's a very real excuse, and it sucks. It sucks. Yeah, Seymour saying it's crazy. Fiercey saying his little brother sadly passed away. Yeah, after an illness. Yeah. Seymour. I guess Seymour didn't know about. 19 is so young too. Damn. Yeah, he's 4 years younger than RJ. So in some ways, that's that kind of thing. You got to think about that age bracket. When RJ was 4, he was born. When RJ was 8, he was 4. When RJ was 12, he was 8. So this kid's been coming up after him like he was a senior and that kid was a freshman for a while. It is absolutely tragic. David's saying, sad start to the day. Poor RJ, man. Life is tough. Hope he's going to be okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys are saying it's a sad day. This is a sad week. His brother has been sick for a while, and I'm sure that that's kind of been weighing on him. And maybe some of the aggression, the way he's been playing, is partly fueled by his anxieties about his brother's state. And, I don't know, man. I don't know how long RJ's going to be out. In some ways, maybe coming back to the game is like good for him to just kind of process and do what he does and work some stuff out. Dwayne Wade recently on DeMar's Dinner with DeMar show said the game was his outlet for emotion and working things out in his life. And when he retired, he had to find a new way to deal with that kind of stuff. And it was difficult. Well, maybe it is good for RJ to come back and play because it's a distraction. It's holistic, and it's him working his feelings out. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. Take as much time as you want. I mean, honestly, if you're like Scott and Yak and Chris and you don't play again for the rest of the season, RJ, I mean, I'd understand, but I don't think you will do that. There's too much time left, and you will want to be out there just to have time to fill your mind. I'm sure you're going to want the distraction. I'm sure you will. Man, it just sucks. Fiercely saying that David, switch to another provider and make them not charge you for a contract cancellation. Good luck. So stupid of them. Yeah, fight the power, David. I'm with you. Whatever you got to do, man, I'm with you. Seymour saying, David, do you think it's the scammers? A lot of fraud is being done nowadays. There's a lot of that all over the which way, every which way. I got this thing in the mail it's supposedly from the Ontario government saying that I owe like $1,000 because they overpaid me on something. But I don't know if it's legit. That's the thing. It's so crazy in this world today. So, yeah, there's a lot of scamming going on every which way. I mean, capitalism is a scam. In the long term, the term capitalism is scamming. It's the whole idea of like you have to have something that nobody can live without, and you scam people into thinking that. That's what the whole scheme of capitalism is. It's so crazy. Yeah, let's see. David's saying they can change me whatever they want. I ain't paying that MF for a fucking penny. Send me to collections. Suck it. I'll pay cash. Keep your credit. You greedy MFer. Well, do the old school thing where you get. They don't have them anymore, but people used to get all pennies and pay them in all pennies. That's the funny thing when somebody did that. They like owe an incredible amount of money, and they get it all in pennies and dump it in their yard with like a bulldozer. Yeah, you could do that. Somebody did that. Trevor's words of wisdom for today. Let's see what Commissioner Jay's saying. Wake up every day with love in your heart and be the person that you were created to be, and that is to serve the love of life. Yeah, I mean, just be grateful. Just cherish every moment, and just really, really, really like count your blessings, like Trevor's saying. Just really be appreciative of the good things in your life. And if there's good things in your life that you don't take into account enough and show appreciation to, do it today. Do it today. and it could be the closest person to you that you just overlook and take for granted. Well, don't take them for granted anymore, and make sure they hear the words that you would want them to hear, just in case anything happens. That's very, very important. You don't want to be in rifts with somebody in your family that you're not getting along with, and something happens where you don't get to say something. So don't wait. Fix shit and talk about it and get it out, cleared out. Yeah, because life is too short and you need to do that. Seymour saying, I got 2 phones. I pay $25 a month on both, prepaid. It's the way, my friend. Why do you have 2 phones? What's going on out there, Seymour? What's going on out there? Either way, I'm not going to say anything about that. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why you would have 2 phones. Work phone, personal phone. Sure, a lot of people are like that. Randolph saying, Lex, let's all remember that each day is a gift. Use it wisely, for tomorrow is not promised. Be the best version of yourself today. Love. There you go. Randolph, once again, coming through with his blessings and words of wisdom also. And this is so true. Like, seriously, you could get real basic with your gratitude and just be glad you woke up and you're breathing still. I mean, seriously, we all need to not take so many things for granted. There's so many people out there acting out of pocket. A lot of the trolls online have no idea how much they should be grateful and have gratitude. In some ways, they will be humbled at some point in their lives by events that occur. And in some ways, they will wish they had the wisdom of not being a jackass for most of their life. When they realize some of the very absolute truths about life, and being a good person, and just trying to be like a community person that is good for like society. In some ways, there's people out there that are just taking and being assholes and hurting and putting down and just being jerks. And part of it is because they're hurt also, all deep down inside. So they need healing too. But in some ways, this is part of the problem, is that, like, look, people, don't waste your life being a hater. Don't waste your life being a troll. Don't waste your life having a negative mindset, because you put out what you have inside. If you have a positive mindset, you have gratitude, you have love in your heart, put that out. That's the best way to live. It just is. There's just too many people out there being negative and just being immature and just acting out in anger because they're hurting inside. And that's a lot of Twitter right now. A lot of it. Chris is saying, I like the Magic as a team, well constructed anyway. And with the Raptors, it's all about seeing the new players and improvement. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah. We want to see more strides from Grady Dick. We want to see more time with Jemias Ramsey. We want to see if Jalen McDaniels can be a little more clean with his play and play even better. There's all kinds of things to watch tonight, even if we don't have a good chance to win. I mean, let me go look. Let me go see what the NBA is saying right now as far as what they think our chances to win tonight. Let's see what the matchup prediction is. This may be a new segment. It's like, how much of a chance do we have to win? Okay, they're saying that the split is 73-27. So we have a less of a chance of beating the Magic than the Pistons. That makes sense. 73% matchup predictors saying the Magic will win. Only 27% the Raptors will win. And that's sometimes a pretty good indicator of, who's favorite to win. And this is probably exactly right. I like I like some of the Magic players. I like some of them. I do not like Paulo. I do not like Jalen Suggs. I do not like Cole Anthony. I do kind of like Franz. I wasn't liking Franz at first, but I'm starting to like him more. I think watching him at World Cup last year was a lot of fun. I think that the friendship he has with Dennis, in some ways, I'm going to become a Team Germany stan, because I loved how they won the World Cup last year. And in some ways, they were a lot of fun. And Franz Wagner, in some ways, is a player that I enjoy watching as a player, because he has very interesting skills and he plays a very fun, entertaining kind of game. So he's probably my favorite Magic player right now. There's a couple other players on that team. Like I like Caleb Houston, because he's one of our guys from up here, and I know he's best friends with Scotty. But yeah, a lot of the Magic I don't like. I like their coach, and I like Franz. But a lot of the other guys, I don't necessarily like them. Let's see. All right, let's keep going. Fiercely saying at Seymour has a point. Did they call David to say he owes them or texted him? I think I got close to 10 messages from CRA saying they owe me money, and I have to click the link to collect. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with this kind of stuff. Really, really make sure things are legit and on the up and up. When people are coming to you with invoices for money, there's all kinds of scamming, all kinds of which way, right now in this world. Yeah. Good morning to Bryce Lawson. Good morning to you, my guy. Hope you're having a good day. There's like all the answers from the cosmic card of the day. Hilarious. Yeah. Herb Williams, the cosmic card of the day, looking a little bit like Oakley, former Raptor Herb Williams. That's right. He was a Raptor for a little while there. That's right. Oh, Smooth came in late. Yeah, I showed the card already. He missed it. Oh man, you would have gotten it. You would have gotten it. You would have saved it. Somebody came in here. Seymour said just Williams. I was like, what are you doing? You can't just answer Williams. That's no good. Williams is like 200 players that played in this league over the years. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah. All right, let's see. Randolph saying, Lex, God moves in mysterious ways. RJ was brought home by the Raptors at the right time where he was much closer to his family and had more precious time with his brother to the end. Hats off to the front office. Yeah, I mean, in some ways that's true. I mean, I don't know where RJ's brother was living. The thing that I heard was that Nathan was in pilot school, that he was learning how to fly, that was what his choice was to go do next. I guess basketball just wasn't going to be the level to try and go and get into college and the NBA. So he was planning on becoming a pilot, and he was beginning the initial stages of learning flying. So that's kind of where he was currently, Nathan Barrett. I don't know if he was here in Toronto though. In some ways, the sad thing is that RJ was on the road for so long. He was on the road for the whole entire month of December with the Knicks, and then he got traded to us, and he was on the road for the whole month of January. But he was back here in time, and in some ways, his brother got to see him play for the Raptors. His brother got to see him win a bronze medal at FIBA World Cup. So man, it's tough. It is tough. God moves in mysterious ways, and man, it's just this is just really difficult to deal with. This is very difficult to deal with in all kinds of ways. Fiercely saying no losing culture here. That's right. No half names. Y'all don't write in one little name. That's right. Billy D. Williams. Y'all thought this was Billy D. Williams. Smooth. We needed you here like a little earlier because the questions were the answers were out of pocket on this. I pulled this card out and they said Charles Oakley right away. I was like, I can see that. I can see why you thought that's Charles Oakley. There's Nick's jersey, and he looks kind of like Charles Oakley. But then Seymour said Williams, and I'm like, that's so lazy. Come on, man. You can't just put Williams. You better tell me that first name. And he couldn't figure it out. He's like 44 Williams. Chris is saying Yak, Scotty, RJ, Gary, Dick, what? IQ, remember this team. This is the team, not whatever we see tonight. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, we all understand this. Scotty understands this from his interview the other day. He's watching and discovering with the coaches and Masai and Bobby to see the talent that could be playing with him next year. In some ways, he's scouting them just like Masai and Bobby are to think about, whether they're good fits. I'm sure Scotty has some input. He's like, yeah, I really like Jalen because he's a nice guy and he does this and this. And I think that he'd be good for us to keep. And it's like, oh, you like him? You like McDaniels? And you're like, yeah, I do, Masai. Do you think we can keep him? Yeah. All right. We'll try and do that. I mean, Scotty endorses guys. I'm sure they strongly consider keeping them. Yeah. Let's say IQ, RJ, Scotty, Jakob, Kelly, and Grady for sure next year. For sure. Everybody else, it's up in the air. We'll have to figure it out and see what happens. Fiercely saying, never thought I'd encourage the team to lose in order to get something we need. Lord have mercy. I understand it's strategic and stemmed from Scotty's injury, snowballed to Yak's injury. It's just the best decisions for our team at this point. If we end up giving that pick and it's the 7th pick to the Spurs, they're going to love us. They're absolutely going to love us. But in some ways, our detractors, our critics, our own fans, I don't even think they're fans, honestly, because they're not supportive people, will criticize and eviscerate our front office on social media if this outcome happens. They'll see it as the worst possible outcome that could have happened in this whole thing. That's why we need to lose right now. In some ways, we need to lose to help the front office in this stupid situation where these people are going to turn on them just because of something weird happening like that. So, yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying, I shouldn't get the 50 points, Lex. I thought it was Walt Williams. Give Stargate the hundo. Okay, you thought it was Walt Williams. Okay, so you want to relinquish the 50 that I was going to give to you for saying Williams, and you want me to just straight up give it to Stargate? All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. You're an honorable man, City Slicker. You're an honorable man. I like you, honorable man. You could tie up a cattle real good, City Slicker. I got respect for you. Yeah. You tied up that calf real fast. Roger Raymond is here. Good to see Roger reappearing in the chat. Good Raptor Freak, Roger. Always happy to see you, my guy. Good day, Raptors Freak. Sad to hear about Nathan. I hope that family and friends are able to find comfort at this difficult time. Yeah, in some ways, I'm thinking about Rowan Sr. When we saw him at Raptors games early on, maybe Nathan had been sick already because Rowan Sr. has had a very angry energy around him, very serious, and maybe he's been very worried about his youngest son for the last month or so. So, man, I'm thinking back to like the emotions around the Barrett family in recent weeks, and I'm just like, okay, there's a reason. There's a reason because Nathan had not been doing well. Oh man, I hate this so much. Roger, good to see you though today. Chris is saying, please come to understand that many fans are not fans of the game. They are fans of winning and seem to think if a team is winning, they are a winner. They know F all about basketball outside of shoe wear. I think this is true. I think that there's a lot of people that are just really dumb. This is the thing. The phenomena is social media, YouTube, things like this allow people like me to just espouse their opinions. And well, if you got good opinions, hopefully you get somewhat of a following. But anybody can get an audience, and these people don't have no business having an audience because they're stupid and they say stupid ass shit. And nobody should be listening to them. But in today's day and age, every idiot has an audience at this point. I am a good example. I will call myself an idiot. I know I'm exactly what I'm talking about, a pot calling a kettle black. But in some ways, there's some usefulness to what I'm saying. But there's a lot of people out there, it's just messed up. They really don't understand. And they're going to say whatever they're going to say. And you can't limit it. It's free speech. But man, don't give them an audience. There's really, really dumb opinions out there, especially on Twitter. I really like at this point, I'm really sad because I'm seeing the demise of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram all at once. Twitter, really, really bad, but Facebook's getting worse, and so is Instagram. And their services are getting worse and worse. And I'm just like, well, at some point, y'all are going to be so bad that nobody's going to use you anymore. You think you're utilitous, but try me, Huckleberry. You can see people will exodus from your apps at some point. I could really easily just walk away from Instagram any moment. In some ways, there's nothing on Instagram other than the stories. And even them, they've been absolute garbage lately. Like, I don't plan to do the Instagram stories right now because honestly, they have not been that whole platform is kind of garbage at this point. Instagram and Twitter's going way down the tubes with Elon running it. And Facebook is getting worse and worse week to week. Honestly, you all can tell. You know how it is. If anybody was on Facebook when it started, you saw how amazing it was in the beginning. Well, it's not like they've tried to improve it over time. They've tried to make it more and more of a business model in certain ways. And in some ways, that doesn't jive with making it better or right or a good service for people. And that's why Facebook, if they run it like a business for profit, well, you're fucked. You're fucked. That's a shitty ass site. In some ways, people have so much built up in connections, they can't leave it. But in some ways, people walk away from it every day because they see how it's gone downhill. So that's just how it is. James is saying, that's tough. I hope RJ is good. Man, I mean, this is just going to be normal, whatever, people deal with this. In some ways, man, RJ is such a tough guy. I mean, I don't know. Either way, my heart's going out to him, and we have so much sympathies and thoughts for them right now. In some ways, I'm not a religious man, but I would say a prayer for Nathan Barrett last night. Yeah. And I'm not a religious person. I'll do that. Yeah. Chris is saying very sad news with RJ. Terrible. Smooth saying joined late. Did you show the card? Yes, we did. It was Herb Williams today. Yeah, we need to draft size a center. Look at us without Yak. I mean, I think that it's not just Yak though. I mean, it's Scotty. Scotty is the other part of the size that we're very much lacking right now. Scotty is very much like a 4 or 5 with what he does with size and just his presence on the court. So that's a big one right there for sure. I don't know. We'll have to see. Zach, that's who we're talking about. Zach Edey is the kind of guy we want. I don't know. We'll have to see how they go. Like I said, that high pick, it'll be for talent, the best available player. Maybe the middle first round pick or the first pick in the second round will be for a positional need. We'll have to see. Fiercely saying, Lex giving dunks to anti Rogers rants. Lex, I dislike Scott Foster and Ben Taylor. Can I get a dunk? You're getting a 3-pointer because you mentioned 2 refs that I don't like either. So you are now 55, DeLon Wright. You are DeLon Wright 55 at this point. Yeah. Smooth's like, my streak is over. 3. You had 3 in a row. Well, Stargate got the 1 today. But yeah, every day we're going to do that card every day. And you know what, Smooth? I noticed with you getting 300 points from, you have rocketed up the trivia standings and you've jumped into like the top 10. You were like near the bottom and you've definitely risen up from doing the cards. So keep going. It's not that I think you can catch up to Fiercy and Amit, but you could definitely get in the top 5 by the end of the season if you keep doing the cards every day as much as you can, as close and quickly as you can. Yeah. Seymour saying, Cade, no improvement. Mobley is a good core around him. Green, a late bloomer, and Scotty is an all-star. Yeah, out of all those guys, he's the one who was an all-star first. And in some ways, he has the best resume. He has the best stats. And there's a lot of, you're comparing guys. I mean, honestly, I always thought Evan Mobley is a little overhyped. Cade is a good player. It's just he's on a really bad team. And, Jalen Green, he's the other one. That's right. We don't talk about, I always forget him. Yeah, he's on Houston, and it is what it is. Smooth saying Herb Williams 1 game as a Raptor, then traded to New York for Doug Christie. Yeah, I think he was on the Raptors twice from what I remember. I may be wrong. Let me go look at that real quick. We'll look at Herb Williams and his history with the Raptors. He only played 1 game with us? Are you sure? That doesn't seem right. Wait, that's the wrong Herb Williams. There's 2 Herb Williams. There's the Herb Williams from way back. All right, let me see. Who is it? Herb Williams, not that one. We want this one. Yeah, the more recent Herb Williams. Wait, that's his coaching record. We don't want his coaching record. What is going on here? All right, come on now. Be right here. No. Is that the same Herb Williams? That can't be. It is him. And you're right. Smith said he only played 1 game for us in 95-96. Yeah, that was expansion time around there. Then there times. Yeah, okay. Smooth's fact checking. He was right. 1 game, and then he got traded for Doug Christie to the Knicks. Good stuff. Duke is here. Duke rocks. Our Raptor Freak fantasy champion, basketball champion from last year, still playing very well this year. We'll see what he's saying. Duke's saying, don't really watch college basketball, but around March Madness is when I get a look at prospects. I use mock drafts to choose which games to watch. Cool. Very cool. Well, Jason, let me know what you find out from your eyes and watching, and come share it with us in the stream in the weeks to come, please. Please. Yeah, March Madness. It is March, and they're doing Selection Sunday on Sunday. We'll have to see where the brackets go and the bracketology of everything this year. That's right. Most saying, here's my schedule for the week. Yes, I'm going tonight. Raptors coaches open house and a friends basketball tournament. That's the stuff she's got coming up. Social Butterfly, Monique, the superfan Lawrence. She got the game tonight. Next Tuesday, we're going to Coach's Open House. And then she's got a friend's basketball tournament. Very, very cool stuff coming up, Mo. I'm so looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Smooth saying the RJ Barrett situation is a trigger for me. Horrible news. It's absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. And, man, I mean, I don't know. I can't do anything justice to the words. I can only have my feelings and of sympathies for this situation. It's really, really bad. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. I am so sorry for RJ and the family. Terrible loss. Rest in peace, Nathan Barrett. Too young, too soon. Yeah. I mean, this is what we have to do. Just be supportive fans towards one of our favorite players, one of our Raptors. Be supportive to our Team Canada family. And Rowan Barrett Sr. and his wife and the whole Barrett family extended, and all the players and the people that knew Nathan and all the people like in the social circle of the Barrett family. Yeah, this is just too soon, too soon, and just a tragedy. Fiercely saying, not sure if they were joking or looking for likes, but some idiots wrote messing up my parlay knowing RJ was out. They got the business. People responded mean stuff, and I'm here for it. Well, in some ways, this is vigilante justice. The whole thing that happened with Brick Muse on Twitter was vigilante justice. The Raptors fans say, whoa, you guys are trolls. You guys are kind of funny. That's pretty funny. You're a good troll. But if you step the line in bad taste, troll, well, people will come and get your ass if you're out of pocket. And I like that. In some ways, there needs to be a little bit of vigilante justice on social media for really horrendous, awful, tone deaf, insensitive joking about topics that just should not be made fun of. Like this is what we're talking about. Anybody who made a betting joke about RJ missing the game in some way, you are a fucking horrible person. And in some ways, not that I totally believe in this, because I believe there's heaven and hell on earth. You're probably going to hell, is basically what I would say to somebody who's looking for cheap opportunities to make a dumb joke in a tragedy. Yeah, you're messed up. You need to get your priorities straight, is what I would say to somebody like that. And if you don't, well, Twitter vigilantes are going to come for your ass and make sure you hear it. I'm all about that. James is saying Cody Williams is going to be 2'6" this year. He's 6'8", can play defense and hit the three ball. He's Jalen Williams' younger brother. Yeah, I heard about this guy. Do you want me to do a scout? James, I'll do my scout of the day with you today. I'll go and look at Cody Williams. I have not watched him before. I do not know him. This is going to be a blind scout. And I'm just going to look at his Wikipedia first, and then I'll look at the first highlight of him on YouTube. So first, we're going to get the overview on him. Cody Williams is 19 years old. His birthday is November the 20th. He's from San Luis Obispo in California. He's 6'8". He weighs 190 pounds. He went to the University of Colorado. He's a Pac-12 all-freshman team, a McDonald's All-American, a Jordan Brand Classic, and a Nike Hoop Summit player. Okay, all right. He's a 5-star recruit. All right, this all sounds really good. Pac-12 player. All right, let's go to the tube and let's see what he looks like on his highlights, and I'll give you a direct reaction to seeing him visually on there. Like I said, I don't. There's so many college players, and this may seem like, oh, you should have watched Cody Williams by now, Lex. But you know what? I'm just this kind of guy. In some ways, I don't. Now he is a freshman this year, so he's only played 1 year at college. That's no good. In some ways, I don't like that. All right, let's see. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, he's got a little move around the side and kind of a janky layup. He put it off the glass. He's coming down the other way. He looks very long and lanky. I like how long he gets. Like he really has an extension. Like he has very long arms. That's for sure. Ooh, look at that block. Wow. Okay, that was something. I'm not even sure which player he was in that play, though. Okay, this is him outside. He's a little bit inside the three-point line. He has a little bit of a kick to his jump shot, like a kick in. Hopefully that won't be a problem in the NBA. Oh, look at that little turnaround hook at the free throw line. That's pretty nice. He looks like he's a classic slasher scorer. He looks like somebody who likes to attack the rim. He kind of reminds me of somebody like Trey Murphy a little bit. Like he's got the same body type as like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. That three looks like a sweet stroke. It looks like he's got a very consistent three-pointer. That's good. I've seen him hit like 3 in a row just now, and it looks identical every time. He does really have a baby hook. He has a little baby hook he likes to do in the paint. It looks like, yeah. His brother's very good, and he's the brother of the good Jalen Williams, not the other Jalen Williams. There's 2 Jalen Williams, right? We got to make sure we know which Jalen Williams he's the brother of. He's the better one. Yeah. Okay. Look, he's got some court vision. He got the ball up the court fast. He looks like he could use some size on his upper body. Then he may need to lift weights and get a little stronger. But otherwise, I like this guy. He looks like he's very talented. He kind of harkens to our old long arm monster build. He's very much like he would have fit in the old identity of our long arm monster Vision 6'9" team too. Yeah. Oh, not a bad player. I would endorse him. He's being speculated as a top 10 pick right now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, James. Thanks for bringing Cody Williams into my sphere of seeing what he looks like. He looks very good with long arms, a nice little baby hook. It looks like he has a sweet three-point stroke, too. So, yeah, he's probably got some good defense with those long arms. I'll bet you he can block some shots. That's right. Trevor's saying 76ers went down last night. Nick Nurse is taking the L train. He's going downtown, down. And Fiercey's got the charts to prove it. Like she's in the boardroom and saying, "Yeah, our team is down." Nick Nurse, the boardroom and the corporate office. Nick, all things are trending down. No, this is cool. Like in some ways, they played the Bucks, In some ways, you got to think that Nick Nurse may want to get revenge for his best friend, Adrian Griffin, for them firing him and beat up on old Doc Rivers. Well, you didn't get it, Nick. You didn't get it done. And Maxi's back. And, they signed Kai Jones this week. That's very interesting. In some ways, they're going for like a boost of infusion of talent on a gamble. Why not? They're sitting in the play-in. They want to get something going. Go get Kai Jones and his delusions, and see if he can fit. Put him in there and see why not? Just grasp at stuff, Sixers. Why not? Why not? Yeah, you're in trouble, and maybe Kai Jones will help you. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. He couldn't get the job done in revenge for Griff in some ways. Yeah. Trevor J saying Garrett Temple was very informative on the Raptors show yesterday. Yes. Garrett Temple appearing on William Lou's Raptors show yesterday in the place of Dennis Schroeder. Will's trying to get him to be the regular weekly call-in now since Dennis is gone. And I think Garrett's very well suited for it. Garrett Temple is very media savvy. He's extremely intelligent. He's very open and honest. And he's awesome. In fact, that interview was fantastic. I mean, Dennis's were good too, but Garrett's a whole other level of information. In some ways, he was giving away the stuff we've been working on our team. But he's like, well, people can scout us and see we've been doing this already anyway. So it's not like I'm really giving anything away or anything. But he's straight up talking about what the Raptors been working on. He's talking about how he works with the young people on our team. And it very much is mentoring people like Javon Freeman Liberty, Jemias Ramsey, Grady Dick. And, it was really good insight to hear Garrett Temple's talking about the team and how he looks at it, and even NBA stuff. He talked about his career a bit in different places and things that happened in it. It was very interesting to me, him talking about why he chose the Wizards over the Heat. In some ways, that was kind of a ridiculous choice, but I understand why, because the Heat aren't going to play him, and the Wizards were going to play him, and he was going to get a chance, and that actually was a smart decision, even it was the shittier team, and they were the champs. The other team was the champs at the time. No, Garrett Temple is a great addition to the Raptors show. I hope he continues to do it, and man, he's so good. People that don't understand why Garrett Temple is on our team, watch the Raptors show yesterday. He will tell you himself why he's valuable to the Raptors, with just by being himself, and you will see him on there and you'll be like, damn, this guy is really good to have on our team. Listen to what he's saying right now. Like, this dude is obviously a leader, a mentor, and he's really, really good for teaching our young guys. Like, his honesty about this season was very fresh. Like, him saying, like, this is the most difficult, weird season I've been in my whole entire NBA career. I've never been in a season like this with so much turnover of the roster and so much changes and so much different personnel. In some ways, I've relished this season as a challenge, and it's made me a better player and a better teacher and leader and a mentor in a lot of ways because of such craziness. In some ways, he really relished the challenge of the Raptors being so chaotic this year as a vet, and he really was a good asset for the Raptors franchise to steady the ship, helping Darko with leadership as a player and really just mentorship of how to be an NBA player for a lot of these young guys that come in. He was speaking glowingly of DJ Carton, Jemias Ramsey, Javon Freeman Liberty, Jonte Porter. All those young guys are getting instruction and a role model from Garrett Temple. So yeah, I really love that appearance of him on the Raptors show yesterday. I highly recommend people watch it. If you're not familiar with Garrett and how he talks and what he says, he's extremely, extremely intelligent, very well spoken. And that game they played with Will Lou about the oldest players in the league is hilarious. Garrett is one of the top 10 oldest players in the NBA currently, and Will Lou made him name the other players that are on the top 10 oldest players in the league. And it was very entertaining show. Good job, Will Lou. You're doing a really good job with your guest hosts and your guests that are on the show. I can give you some props because Garrett Temple is a good choice to replace the Dennis Schroeder call-ins for sure. You can't expect Dennis to call every time now that he's on the Nets. Come on now. Fiercely saying, you're right, Lex. Technology moves fast, and there will be replacements to IG, Facebook, Twitter, etc. I remember there used to be High Five and Vine, MySpace. There's been different like social media things. In some ways, Facebook's got a real root entrenched. In some ways, it is absolutely necessary for some people, and some of the things they do, they built through it. But things like Twitter, things like Instagram, they can fucking go away because in some ways people are like, this is garbage. But Facebook is a little bit more utilitarian and a little bit more important. The thing that's happening with TikTok right now in the States is very interesting. This is something we need to look at. The United States government has decided they do not want China to own TikTok. So they're declaring, and in some ways, the audacity of them to say this. I don't understand how they can do this. I don't know. Either way, they're demanding that TikTok sell itself to an American so that they can run it, and the Americans can trust it, because they really do feel like TikTok is being used by the Chinese government to surveil North America. So the espionage of TikTok is very much a thing that's a problem. Now, what is TikTok? TikTok is a silly ass little app where like booty girls do booty things and guys do dumb things, and there's all kinds of dumb stuff on that app in general. It's so weird. In some ways, it's an overreach of the government, in my opinion. Y'all are so free market. Well, you're so like controlling. You're saying that China can't own an app and they have to sell it to the somebody in the States. It's a weird situation. This is something to pay attention to, though, because sometimes rulings and things like this set the precedent for the later stuff. And whatever's going to happen. People are all worried about their TikTok going away. Well, TikTok's been garbage for this whole year anyway, right? Right? Isn't that what's been happening? I've been hearing, I don't know. I don't care about that shit. But I've been hearing that TikTok has gone way downhill in just the last like year or so. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Everything has its cycle and its lifespan. I think Facebook will survive, but a lot of these other ones will not. Seymour saying Aunt Pat Beverly was giving Nick Nurse the game ball after the game. It was hilarious. Yeah, it's funny to see Nick, like, there's highlights of him when they were playing the Knicks this weekend and the Knicks beat them, of OG dunking and Nick's like on the bench, like going, oh, like making all these faces. Like he's just like so defeated. You get what you get. You really do. You want to pave this gold brick road for yourself, Nick, out of here to Philly. Well, not everything that glitters is gold. Let's just put it that way. Sometimes it's shit. Yeah. Pat Beverly gave him the game ball. Hilarious. Patricia Beverly. Let's see. Seymour saying, I remember getting strikes last season for going off on Nick Nurse. Now we're all jumping from the top rope on him with people's elbow. Wham. Well, this is the thing. I protect my own, Seymour. And during the season, I was critical of him, but I was trying to be like constructively critical of him for his coaching decisions and substitutions, maybe things he was doing that didn't make sense to me at the time, not knowing that he was not doing things properly on purpose. So it's like, why didn't he do that? This isn't exactly like the year before when we went to the playoffs against Philly. In some ways, you would have called the play for Fred and we would have had a shot and made it and we would have won the game. It was like he was throwing games last year at times. Now, but I wasn't totally sure about it. And I wasn't totally sure about it until the end, and it became very clear what had happened when he took the job in Philly. That totally told me the whole reason why everything went bad last year was because he took the job in Philly. Now, during the season, I'm damage control. I got to stick with my coach when we're actively in combat, which is games. And that's part of the reason why I stood up to him to a degree. But once I knew that he checked out, once he did that press conference in Philly, I turned on him. I said, yeah, he's given up on our season way too early because we have games still, and he's already checked out for vacation. And that's when we all turned on him. And I was just like, I was a big, huge critic of him at that point because I knew that he had fucked up and he had totally, like, he was fucking up his career in Toronto. So it was in the due time of it. I mean, yeah, I gave you strikes in the season because at that point, we were still, I was confused. It was muddled. I didn't realize Nick was the huge epicenter of the problems last year. And I was still trying to protect my team in any kind of way. I'll protect Masai. I'll protect my coach. I'll protect the franchise and the players. And that's why. That's basically why. But yeah, we jump on the top rope on his ass now. Yeah, because he's a turncoat. He is the coach's version of Vince Carter. He is just like Kevin Durant. He's a snake. It's the same move as Kevin Durant going from the Thunder to the Warriors, except he's not going to win a championship like this. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. And that's what I'm saying right there. So if that explains anything, Seymour, listen, you got strikes. You're not any worse off for it. You're good. You're good. Yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying, smooth. You are AI. How the hell you remember? He only played one game, then dealt. Wow. Great mind. He might have looked it up. He might have looked it up and told us. But maybe he did know that off the top of his head. That'd be crazy if he did. That'd be crazy if he knew Herb Williams only played one game for the Raptors and then he got traded. Sat on the bench a lot. I remember that. Fiercey saying, I don't use Twitter, but I hear it's gotten worse since Musk took over. Oh, yeah, it's horrible. You don't like the thing is that there's a lot of like, this is the thing. He's calling free speech, allowing people to be racist on there. There's tons and tons of racism all over that place. There's a lot of like very far right bullshit. They suggest like accounts for me to follow that I would have nothing to do with. Very, very far right, conservative, PC kind of bullshit that they're trying to force on us. Like they won't give me the accounts that I would want to follow, like liberal, woke, left leaning kind of stuff. No, they're shoving right stuff in my face, right wing stuff. And that's very on purpose by these billionaires that own these companies. Facebook's doing it to a degree also. Musk is the worst offender on this. He's very much picking people like Ben Shapiro and giving them a huge, huge, huge exposure. He's controlling who's getting looked at on that site now. And basically, if you don't pay him to get that little blue check, and people can pay him to get the blue check and say that there's someone that they are not, and as long as they're paying Elon, they can masquerade and act like this on there. There's a whole bunch of bullshit accounts that get way more put out there because they're paying Elon. And a lot of them are misinformation or they have very nefarious reasons for what they're doing. Somebody like Brick Muse, who came out with that really awful shirt about Scotty and the allegations. And they paid money to Elon to have more of a platform to put themselves out there on a broader scale. And that's what I'm saying. It's a really, really fucked up place at this point. It used to be utilitous for information, breaking news. In some ways, it was like routers, the wire, the news wire, but it is not that anymore. It is basically like scam emails in your email account at this point. Before, it used to be like breaking news. This is a news headline. You could see news headlines on Twitter and get all your news that way. Well, now it's just fucking scam emails in your spam folder is what you get in there, basically. That's what it's like. Monique is saying, as I was saying in the Facebook chat, Raptors media team was in my area filming at Jane and Finch Center last week. Just cool moment. Were you there too, Mo? That's awesome. I know that they're all over the place. The Raptors admin people have really tried to build a thing about Raptors culture. In some ways, I feel like they need to talk to us, but they're all investigating what is Raptors culture and who are the Raptors fans and what are they all about and who are these people? And they've been doing a lot of stuff about Raptors culture and trying to put that on blast. I don't know why they were at Jane and Finch, but hey, we'll find out, I'm sure, when they release the content. But very, very cool, Monique. Very, very cool. And I'm sure you were probably involved somewhere. Fiercely saying, my daughter uses TikTok for dance choreos. That's what I'm saying. It's just like it's a weird like app. I can see uses for it, but in a lot of ways, it's not practical uses. In some ways, it's artistic uses. And some of it's just stupid. And once again, it's another app that's being controlled by whether you pay or not. It's the same thing with Facebook. This is where it's gotten to with the capitalist model with these apps. You have to pay to get exposure. You will not get any views of anything you post unless you pay the app to put it on blast. That is their business model at this point. If you want to be a TikTok star, if you want people to see your Facebook event, if you want people to follow you on Twitter, you have to pay Zuckerberg and Elon and then they will put you on blast. So in some ways, it's not democratic or fair or free speech because it's limited, it's gatekeeping, and you have to pay these motherfuckers to get exposed at this point. Before, you could get in the algorithm and you could get exposure, but at this point, all those platforms are paid to be seen. At this point, it wasn't like that just 2 or 3 years ago. This has all changed just in the last couple of years. That they've made it very much. If you want to get any kind of a following or anybody to see your shit, you have to pay them to get it exposure. Yeah. Seymour saying, I hope they don't shut down TikTok. I don't care either way. I mean, in some ways, it's stupid. It is stupid. I mean, it's for kids. People like it, and they want to do little dances or funny little skits or goofy stuff. I don't know, whatever they're doing on TikTok. I have nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with that app. If they shut it down, good is what I'd say. But I'm an old man. G saying the Scotty autism jokes are so lame. I wrote facts about how these jokes are harmful, and my comments got deleted by Instagram, and the jokes remained. See, it's stuff like that. I'm telling you, it's stuff like that. There's really nasty people that are not helpful. I'll tell you a story about Facebook real quick. I'm an admin on a big group, classic pro wrestling group that has over 50,000 members. In some ways, I'm in charge of them. I police them. I delete comments. I do all kinds of stuff. I see the inner workings as an admin. In fact, I'm considered a power admin, and I belong to a group on Facebook where all admins are in there, and we talk about admins and the changes to Facebook and stuff like that. Well, one of the things that Facebook started and they never rolled out was a reward system. They had a whole thing that they made for groups where you could go on your group, and if you liked to comment by somebody, or you felt like it was funny, you felt like it was helpful with information, you could give a reward to someone. It was like just like how you can put a little happy or a mad or a confused or wow or sad, all those little emotes. Well, they had a whole other system, a reward system for rewarding people for good comments and informative comments, funny comments. And you could say witty comment or very informative, thank you. And it would give the people points. Now, what happens when you do that is you're rewarding someone for doing something nice. If somebody comes on there and they give you the answer to something you're wondering, you can reward them by saying, here's a very informative badge. In some ways, this is giving little serotonin boosts to people of feeling good. It's like, I feel helpful because I wrote a comment and somebody has said, this is very helpful. In some ways, that is something that builds happiness and goodwill. And it actually increases people to be helpful on social media because you have a whole reward system where peers and people can see what you contributed and tell you, yeah, that was funny. Continue. You can encourage people. Well, they tested it on some groups in Facebook, very limited. Yeah, I saw it in one group. And I was like, this is awesome. I want to get this in my classic wrestling group because I could see where people could feel really good from rewarding each other for informative comments or witty comments or whatever. Well, Facebook did not roll this out. They trialed it and errored it, and they killed it. You will never see this come out. And in some ways, Facebook could do good things for mental health and encouraging good information, good content by putting this out there. It's a reward system for good content and not junk comments like what we're talking about right now. But they don't do it. You know why? Because it doesn't have to do with this. In some ways, they don't want us to be happy. They could do this easily right now. And people would see a boon in some ways, in some cases, mental health boon. In some cases, we'd see more informative stuff online boon, but they won't do it because in some ways, they don't care about us being happy. They don't care about anything other than making money. And in some ways, they're happier. They make more money when we're dissettled and not contented and not happy. That's the biggest secret about this whole system we live in. If we're happy and we have our needs met, we don't consume, we don't buy, we don't feel agitated and have to go buy the chips to like hate eat or sad eat or stuff like that. When you're happy, they take that shit. You don't need that stuff. So instead of being mentally good, putting this system of rewards on comments in Facebook, they scrapped it. They could do this. They have the power to make life happier for people, but they don't want to because that is what they are. And we need to remember that about big groups like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and TikTok. They're not doing this to make our lives happier or better. They're doing it for capitalistic, making money, profit reasons. And some people say, well, that's what everything is like, Lex. Well, I don't think they should be like that. If Facebook has a way of making mental health and people happier in this world, they should encourage and go in that direction. But they don't want to. And I've seen exactly something that they could have done that they chose not to, that would have done that. So, yeah, it's messed up. It is messed up. In some ways, they will encourage the bullshit that G's talking about. And they're going to take his comments down? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? That tells you all you need to know about that kind of stuff. Smooth saying, I was a BB nerd back then, so I remember. BB nerd. What do you mean, Big Brother? Big Brother nerd? I'm trying to remember. What BB? What do you mean, BB? What are we talking about, BB? Bruce Brown nerd? Are you Bruce Brown nerd? You have a lot of cowboy hats? I don't know. Fiercely saying, that's so messed up. Yeah, they're not. This is the thing. Like, Elon is allowing crazy racism on Twitter that wasn't there like 2 years ago. In some ways, he's allowing people to get organized with alt-right hate groups on Twitter right now. He's really, really disgusting and gross, Elon Musk. And honestly, if everybody just quit using Twitter, I would be happy. But in some ways, I only use it for Lewenberg. It really is just to get the Raptors news. It's the only reason why I'm on there. Yeah. Seymour's saying this world is a mess. Yeah, it's messed up. Those big companies are awful. They're absolutely awful. Chris is saying TikTok, Twitter, X, CNN, Fox, CBC, all crap. Laugh out loud. If you can think for yourself, do so. Yeah. Or at least find sources that you trust. Yeah. Grassroots sources are probably going to be the best at some point. People like me that are just ordinary citizens that don't have any corporate agenda or any kind of that kind of stuff. Most saying news and notes. Raptors celebrate women empowerment. A game on March the 20th. Okay, so it's not tonight, so it'll be a game next week. I'm not sure which game that is. Okay, good. Yeah, the whole month of March celebrating women in all kinds of different areas and stuff. There was a clip from practice yesterday where they were celebrating the equipment manager, Shelly. Yeah, apparently the comment with Giannis has survived around the Raptors. Scotty keeps bringing it up about how Giannis said even the equipment manager needs to be better on the Bucks. And Scotty came up to Giannis at the All-Star break and he said, yeah, I heard what you said about the equipment manager being better. And our equipment manager is trying to be better. Well, we saw her yesterday on an Instagram post they were lifting her to dunk the ball. I don't know what was going on. And it was Scotty. Scotty has a broken hand. He's in a cast and he's lifting this woman up. I'm like, don't do that, Scotty. Don't lift her with your hand. You're hurt. You're on the injured reserve right now. You don't need to be lifting your equipment manager to get a dunk. But yeah, they were giving her dream to dunk by lifting her up so she could dunk the ball through the hoop. And Scotty's lifting her with his broken hand. I'm like, don't lift her. Scotty, put her down. Let one of the Raptors who aren't hurt help lift her up. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was in some ways celebrating women around the team with the equipment manager, Shelly. And yeah, they've been celebrating quite a few people around there, like Amber, who does the in-game stuff with Strizzy. And, different people like Paul Jones's daughter, who's in the PR department for the Raptors, Justine Jones. Yeah, they've been putting on blast a lot of different women around the organization and in social media. And it's awesome. It's really, really good. Really, really, really good. Really good. Chris is saying TikTok is not being shut down, but the Chinese are being forced to de-invest in the platform. But I have stayed off social media because it always becomes a waste of time. Metaverse real estate, shaking my head. Yeah. I mean, that's another phenomena of online stuff is that, they sell you things that are not real or tangible. They're online. But then when they destroy the game, like I used to play this game called Marvel's Avengers Alliance. It was a Marvel game. It was a fighting game. You get different Marvel characters and you go through levels. It was amazing. But they closed the servers. And I did actually spend a little bit of money on that game because I wanted to get this particular Spider-Man. And, well, that game went away. And all the money I put into it, well, I don't have anything to show for it today. It's like digital media is different than physical media. And there's a lot of people out there these days that are buying up DVDs and VHS tapes and video game cartridges because they don't trust the digital media age of like, oh, you own this and what right out from you and you don't have it like in years to come. In some ways, people want their hardware in real life so that they know they got their copy of Goonies on Blu-ray disc. That's what I'm saying. In some ways, that's a whole area of things that people need to think about in preserving what they want in their life is go get hard media. Don't rely on digital media because they take digital media away from you all the time and you just lose assets. Like if you spend money on a whole bunch of music online, and then all of a sudden the Apple store just crashes and your music is all gone. That's messed up because you spent money on buying songs and all of a sudden they're gone. They're not an album that you have in your house in an album sleeve that you put on record player. They're just files on computers. And that's kind of a crazy thing about media in the future. So there's a lot of people hoarding and buying up stuff like DVDs and VHS and CDs and any kind of physical media because they can see the future in this kind of weird era that, in some ways you want to have your own media and not be digital and you want it in person. Some people don't want it because of space and like, oh, I just want it on my cloud. But even the cloud system could be fucked with at some point. If you have all your work on your cloud, Well, someday there's terms and agreements on these little things we sign. This is the agreement to use our app. We can revoke usage of this material and it's gone at any moment with no warning, and we legally can do it. It's stuff like that we got to think about with the future and things like that for sure. Mischief saying, I heard what happened to the Barrett family. My prayers go to the Barrett family. I saw Otto Porter Jr. retires at 30. Yeah, he's not 30. Is he that young? He's a little bit older than that, isn't he? He's not just 30. That's crazy. Yeah, it's really sad. That's the news we're talking about majorly today. In some ways, we're not even talking about Orlando. Chris is saying Blackberry BB. Oh, you're talking about Blackberry. Yeah, I'm not going to know what that means with BB. BB don't mean Blackberry to me. I'm not from London or over there. I have nothing to do with Blackberry. So BB means Blackberry. Yeah, shortened form thing. So I'm going to think everything else. Think everything else. Bruce Brown. Seymour saying, a scout said he would rather take Caitlin over Bronny James. He is so overhyped. This is very interesting. In fact, I'm glad you brought this up, Seymour. There's an article out on ESPN yesterday about Bronny James that is not flattering. In some ways, I'm wondering if Rich Paul and LeBron James are absolutely pissed right now. I think that LeBron this past year has really tried to bring up the profile of Bronny to be ready to come to the NBA. Well, there's an article out on ESPN's front page talking about executives' takes on Bronny James for real. And they are saying he's not ready. They're not interested. Some of them are saying he needs to go to another year of school. If he's trying to come out this year, he needs to go back to USC for another year. Yeah, they're not high on him. In some ways, there's a disconnect between LeBron's ego and what he thinks LeBron James is going to be in the NBA and the reality of what the NBA world and GMs think of Bronny James. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. In some ways, we're going to see the test of the power and the metal and the power that LeBron has over basketball in this. In some ways, you could say if Giannis could have Thanos on his team, well, Bronny could play in the NBA, right? Probably. And he will force him in this league somehow, some way. But we'll have to see how it works. An early signal for this was them saying, oh, we're going to get Bronny to pick his team. That means that they don't expect him to get drafted, is what it is. That means he's going to be Marquise Noel, Fred VanVleet, not drafted. And that's why LeBron started saying a month or so ago, Bronny's going to pick the team that he wants to be on. That's because he ain't going to get picked himself in the draft. There is a huge disconnect between the ego of King James's head about his son and the reality about where his son's going with the NBA. And this is going to be kind of, in some ways for LeBron haters, this is going to be a little fun to watch the humble pie the James family may be getting very soon. Because honestly, Jabron lames, you can think everything you want in your head about how you think it'll go. And you can control it yourself to a certain degree with your athletic talent. But that doesn't just mean your son is ordained to come in next. If he don't cut it, if he's not good enough, well, he ain't good enough. In some ways, he's going to come to this league and embarrass you, bro. That's what I think is going to happen. Bronny James is going to embarrass his dad in the end. And in some ways, it's a monster and a whole thing that was created by LeBron himself. This situation is going to happen with Bronny James coming up. Yeah, he ain't gonna be jack shit in the NBA. Watch. He ain't going to be jack shit. Fiercely saying Blackberry. Yeah, BB, Blackberry. Fiercely saying, just saw MSJ confirmed. Agreed. Sorry, can't delete my comment from iPad. Only on phone. So weird. BB, basketball nerd. Basketball nerd. I don't know. Chris is saying, I still have my pager, just like the rapper Snow. I'm on my own informer. No, so I like a boom boom now. Yeah, I mean, Blackberry, that's not a name I've heard recently. Not in any kind of way. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Yeah. Fiercely saying sorry to Seymour. Yeah, he's a BB nerd. Let's see. Women Empowerment Night is the Nets. Okay, so it's the Brooklyn Nets that night. Okay, thanks for the information, Mo. It's going to be the Nets and Dennis Schroeder. Dennis has a picture on his Instagram of him with Junior and his daughter. And the caption says, Ellen Schroeder says that my daughter looks just like me. I agree, Dennis Schroeder, that your daughter has very similar facial structure to your face, and you are likeness to each other. That is very, very cute. Very, very cute. So Dennis will be back in Toronto on Women's Empowerment Game, and hopefully Ellen will be there since they're still staying here in Toronto. That's good. I'm glad Brooklyn's got more games still in Toronto for the season so that Dennis can have easy time visiting his family, who's still residing in Toronto while he plays for the Nets for the rest of the season. I don't think they're going to make the switch over like very quickly. In some ways, Ellen really likes the house here in Toronto. But yeah, that's part of the inconvenience of getting traded. Yeah, that's part of it right there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying, all good. Got you, Fiercey and Raptor Freak family. We got you too, Seymour. You're my guy. You're my guy. Trevor's saying, watch Darko behind the wheel of a Ford F-150. What? Wait, is there a new commercial with Darko selling F-150s or something? I don't know. Chris is saying, actually, Caitlin might be a better player than Bronny. Ooh, burn. A girl's better than you, Bronny. No, that's not a burn. That's just, women are good players. And in some ways, you can't say you got beat by a girl. And that's an insult anymore. That's in some ways, that is part of the problem here. Is part of the problem. It's like people downplaying that. Let's see. She's only 6 foot, 155 pounds. For the NBA on defense, she get torched. Let's not fool ourselves. But in a WNBA All-Star, Bronny is not as good as Mac McClung. Wow, we're gonna dump on Bronny James today. Okay, we will. They're saying he's just not gonna be as good as LeBron thinks he's gonna be. That's gonna be interesting. Wayne's saying, I recognize the greatness of digital technology, but I limit all access to social media platforms. No more Twitter, Facebook, or any other social media. Artists find social media vital for access, though. In some ways, you have to do it. It's a necessary demon to get yourself out if you're a creative person. In some ways, it is really great. If it wasn't so limiting now, like the way I just described, how they pay you to get exposure, you have to pay to get exposure. Before, it wasn't like that. If people had a good product or a good art or whatever they do, they could get people that would find them and it would be easy. In some ways, I'm very thankful to YouTube's algorithm and search engine. If somebody puts in Raptors, they probably can find me. And in some ways, that's wholly how I find subscriptions, is people find me. I'm not out there promoting it. And it may not be that YouTube is like sussed me out and said, oh, this guy, we don't need to put him in a high algorithm and put him on blast all over the place. I don't know. Either way, I'm glad there's access to find me on YouTube. In some ways, if I was trying to promote things on Facebook at this point, I would be pointless, because you could post somebody and something and nobody would see it unless you paid them money. So that's part of the problem right there. Yeah. Wayne, I commend you for being off of social media and digital stuff. In some ways, I'm going to go more and more towards that direction as I get older. I'm sure I am. Seymour saying, I met Snow back when I was a snot-nosed punk. He had a cool Pathfinder with a Celtics clover inside on the door. Big up to Snow. Yeah, Snow, Toronto rapper, informer. I like that boom boom there. I don't even know what he's saying when he says that. Obviously, because I'm not saying it correctly, am I? That's gross that he had the clover. Shakina Young on Twitter last night saying, there's one arena in this league I hate going to all these years. I still hate it. Well, who were the Suns playing last night? Go look at it. It was the Celtics. She hates going to the Boston arena, is what she was saying last night. Thad Young's wife. That's hilarious. I love that. Chris is saying, get out while you can, Lex. Bye, everyone. Get out while I can. Get out where? In some ways, if I wasn't taking care of babysitting that Facebook group, I might get out of there. Seriously, I might. There's a couple things I'm doing on there. I'm really thinking about downscaling my friends list. And like, in some ways, I'm friends with all my friends from high school and different places. I have nothing to talk to them about. In some ways, I don't want them to find me. So I'm thinking about really, like, I don't know. In some ways, I don't want to be mean and defriend people like on mass scale. But also at the same time, I don't really kind of want a Facebook profile at this point. I'd rather just be an admin for that group and not do jack shit on Facebook otherwise. I mean, I like our Facebook like group where we share stuff, and that kind of stuff is great. But otherwise, I'm not really like, Facebook isn't changing why I use it for. And in some ways, it used to be being connected with family and friends, but now it's more like it's just running this wrestling group and in contact with you guys. And that's it. I'm not using it for anything else. It's running this wrestling group and that. And, I at some point, I may just walk away, like Chris is saying. Most saying, think of RJ every day, everybody. Keep up the great streams, Lex. Raptors for life. Yeah. Little prayer for Nathan and just for the Barrett family in general. And just let's show extra special sweet love to RJ. Pause your criticisms. Pause your bullshit, trolls, and idiots on social media. And just have a heart and let this man grieve his brother. Y'all don't need to be doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, Seymour saying it's only 9 a.m. Where are y'all going? 11 a.m. here. I don't know where Chris is going. He is of Irish origin, fam. I know that's why he's got the Celtics clover. It's House of Pain, jump around kind of shit. I get it. Jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, jump, jump. Everybody jump. Chris is saying Snow was and is a true fighting Irishman, not a Celtics fan, Lex. The guy was in jail for attempted murder when that Informer song hit. He was a nutcase, really. And I meant get out this morning. Get out this morning, Lex? Oh, you mean get off the stream? Get out of here? Yeah, I'll be done soon. I'll do about 2 hours. Seymour saying Snow had a woman bring stuff inside her and was caught at the airport. She then told police it was all Snow's idea. So he was ratted on and made the song. And that's why he sang Informer. Man, we're getting some behind the music kind of information here. I love it. Good stuff, Seymour. And Chris informing me about the Informer. A real Toronto guy, too. Real Toronto guy. All right, let me see. Let me do the wrap up since we're at the end of the comments. All right, so we got Orlando tonight. They have no injuries. Their lineup is pretty solid. And oh wait, that's not us. That's our injuries. That's not them. I should go look at the injuries for the Magic. Yeah, nothing, zero, zilch. They're completely healthy. They got everybody available. So we're going to see the full complement of the Magic against half the Raptors team. So just everybody's trying to handicap tonight. Figure it out. This is a playoff team. They have a better record than us. They have no injuries. They are trying to get better playoff seeding. We have half our team missing. We are intending to lose. So if people don't get with the program tonight and don't understand why we might lose this game or want to lose this game, I hope you just listen to me. If you did not, well, I can't help you. If you're not on page with what we're doing right now, I'll tell you right now, this is what's going on. DJ Carton's out. RJ Barrett's out. Gary Trent Jr. is questionable. Chris Boucher's out. Jakob Poeltl's out. Scotty Barnes is out. So, yeah, at least Emmanuel's going to play tonight for sure. Hopefully Gary comes back too. That would be great. The referees for today's games. There is a game in Cleveland with the Cleveland Charge, the G League team against the Raptors 905, 7 p.m. tip-off. J.D. Rawls is the crew chief. Kalaja Mula is the referee, and Chelsea Painter is the umpire. For the Raptors game here in Toronto against the Orlando Magic, Courtney Kirkland is the teacher referee tonight. Nick Bookert is the good guy ref, and Sheree Mitchell is the rookie ref who's a referee in training during the game. So Courtney may be ref training her a little bit tonight, just so y'all know. She's never refed a Raptors game in her life, but she's ref 2 Magic games, and they lost both times. Courtney Kirkland favors the Magic. Meanwhile, Nick Bookert and Sheree actually favor the Raptors by default because she hasn't refed us at all. So, yeah, there you go. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I think that's it. If you have a fantasy basketball team, make sure you set it up and have your team set up to play tonight. There are games, and we're on the home stretch. There's only one more week of the regular season next week, and then we start the playoffs the week after that. So be ready for that for sure. Let's see. Wayne saying, before Musk took Twitter, when I was on that platform, I kept getting call girls or predators constantly. I thought they were all FBI types looking to entrap people. Elon did me a favor. Love YouTube, though. Yeah, YouTube's great. I feel like YouTube is a real free speech place. In some ways, it's very grassroots, and it allows for somebody like me to have a platform to find people. That's fantastic. It's very utilitarian for information. If there's any subject and anything you want to know, you can go to YouTube and learn it. In fact, I encourage people to learn through YouTube. It can be very cost effective. And in some ways, you get the best information in specialty ways from what you exactly want. Like if I want to learn about grafting fruit trees with particular species of trees, I can find that kind of content on YouTube if I search for it correctly. And that's fantastic. In some ways, YouTube is like a visual and audio version of an encyclopedia. And you get particular experts on everything. In some ways, I'm a Raptors expert. And people come here and they want to know about the Raptors. They get their information here. And that's the model I love about YouTube, is that it can be like that. It can be like that. And people will find you. And in some ways, it's very of the people. And I hope it never changes. But in some ways, I worry about YouTube making changes over time that are a little bit more gross and dystopian and just not for creative freedom. And that is something that is very much valued on YouTube, I hope. by the people that run it and that are involved with it. That creative freedom should be one of your top most important things that you guys value as a company. YouTube is what I would say right now. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Let's do the main event marquee matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scotiabank Arena. Tonight we have the Orlando Magic visiting the Toronto Raptors. In this corner for the Orlando Magic, we've got this guy. He's barking like a dog. It's a dog contest. Who can bark like a dog the best? In this corner, we've got Jalen Suggs. He is representing the Orlando Magic for the Toronto Raptors. In the dog barking contest, we have Emmanuel Quickly. Let's see who can be the biggest dog on the court tonight. Will it be the intensity of Jalen Suggs, or will it be the happy-go-lucky Skipley? We'll have to see. Yeah, let's see. Kareem's here. It's been 2 days. Peace out, homie. Happy Patty's Day. Where you been, man? Oh, my gosh. Where you been, Kareem? All right, I love you guys. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And join if you feel like it. Membership does have its privileges. All right, Herb Jones. Say bye. Bye-bye, Herb Jones. And y'all have a good one. IQ versus Suggs. IQ is going to be the better dog and the more swaggy Riz guy in the whole thing there. We'll see how it goes tonight. Let's just stay competitive. Let's not get embarrassed. Let's see. If we lose and we keep it close, we look like we compete and we're on a good level with them. We have good stuff happening, winning culture kind of things, and we just barely lose at the end. That's the best recipe for tonight. In fact, in some ways, we want this game to look like the Denver game. We want this game to look like the Detroit game. Get out to big leads, beat down the other team, humble them a little bit, but let them come back and beat you in the end. That's the best kind of recipe for a Raptors game tonight. I'll tell you that right now. I fully endorse an L for tonight's game. All right, let's go Raptors and play really well and compete and do good stuff, but maybe lose. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors fans. Go to the game.